order at 6:07 p.m. Roll call, please. Do you want me to do it?
Okay, I apologize about that.
Good.
I'm running in. Do you have it? Yes, I got it right here. Well, thank you. Okay. Trustee Altamirano,
Here.
thank you. Trustee Banda. Oh, absent. Trustee Estes.
Here.
Trustee Hernandez.
Here.
Trustee Sotomayor.
Okay, Katie, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I would love to.
Thank you.
That you can stand. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Okay, adjustments to the agenda. The library board will discuss the order of the agenda, may amend the order, add urgency items, note abstentions or no votes on the consent calendar items, and request consent calendar items to be removed from the consent calendar for discussion. The library board may also remove items from the consent calendar prior to that portion of the agenda. The library board may take care of these issues for official city record purposes by entertaining a formal motion. Do we have any adjustments?
We will be pulling the, excuse me. I apologize. The pulling items, A1 and A2.
Okay.
It appears that the documents you received may be out of order.
That's okay. I'll pull it up on my phone. A1 and A2. Okay, so we're gonna be pulling, okay. So,
So for those in the audience, we're just going to approve the minutes at the next meeting. So that's that action.
okay. And then we're gonna move on to public comment. Anyone wishing to address the library board on these matters has a limit of 3 minutes. Does anyone have any public comments? Okay, seeing none. Matters not appearing on the agenda. If you wish to address the library board concerning any item within the board's jurisdiction, please raise your hand and be acknowledged by the president. At that time, state your name and address for the record. The president reserves the right to place a time limit of 3 minutes on each person's presentation. It is requested that longer presentations be submitted to the library administrator's office in writing 48 hours before the meeting. Do we have any public comments? Okay, seeing none. We moved past the consent agenda, so we're going to be moving on to item B, presentations. Item B1, presentation by Miss Mary Beth Kelly regarding the donation of Where Water is King by Kevin Eugene Kelly to the Imperial Public Library Collection.
Hello, good evening, folks. My name is Mary Beth Kelly, and it is an honor to donate this book, Where Water is King, to your library. My late husband, Kevin Eugene Kelly, is the author of the book. He was on completion of writing his book, but was unable to finish due to his untimely death. He passed away on January 19th, 2021, at the age of 61. It was devastating, and our children and I were heartbroken his book would not be completed after he had been working on this project for years. When we received a letter from Rita Schmidt-Sudman, former executive director of the Water Education Foundation, shortly after Kevin died, stating she would edit the manuscript and help get it published, it gave us all the hope in the world. We called her immediately, and then Bob Snow, Brian McNeese, and Benny Andres joined in with all the other talented and kind friends of Kevin to help give this book a home. This story wouldn't have happened if it had not been for all the incredible number of selfless hours Sunday Zoom meetings, and months of tremendous work by Brian, Rita, Bob, and the entire group that aided us bringing this project to reality. In particular, Brian's words and Pat Waters' art capture who Kevin was and what he was saying. These parts of this book mean so much to us. Kevin Kelly served as the general manager of the Imperial Irrigation District for 8 years, from January 2011 until his retirement in January 2019. The book, Where Water is King, was published in 2022 by Sunbelt Publications. The book was unveiled on September 24th, 2022, during a special dinner event at the Pioneers Museum, sponsored by the Imperial Irrigation District. The museum has a glass case displaying his book. I am happy to say it is a popular book at Sunbelt, and there has been a high demand for it. Kevin would have been overjoyed to know his book was adopted into the United States Library of Congress in Washington, D.C. Kevin's book details epic struggles of ordinary and extraordinary people, bringing life-giving water to a desert and turning it into a new Egypt. Bringing irrigation to the valley in the early 1900s would be profound and ultimately transformative for the entire nation as it watched an agricultural empire being created. The Imperial Valley would become the largest single water rights holder on the entire Colorado River, and thus wield power beyond its geographical and population limits. True a century ago and true today. Kevin provides a unique perspective on the people and events that helped make the desert bloom. This is a unique story told by a unique storyteller. If you would like to purchase a book, you can through Sunbelt Publications, San Diego, or Chula Vista. The information and price of the book are on the back cover. Our children and I know how much finalizing and publishing his book would have meant to Kevin. We miss him dearly, but we will always have his love, ideas, and voice captured throughout these pages. I would like to thank Ember Haller for being so supportive and inviting me to make this presentation. Thank you for your time this evening. I hope you have the opportunity to read Where Water is King. Thanks.
So what we'll do is we'll take a picture of the board and city manager. Would you like to take a picture? Okay.
Oh, how nice. Thank you.
Yeah, she'll be in there if she's on it. Come on, dude.
You're such a nice, non-threatening group.
Oh, good for you.
We have a discussion right now.
If I know you were putting me.
Thank you. So, Mary Beth has donated a book to each library within the Imperial County. So every library has this book in their collection. We're very excited to add this historical, historical book in our collection. And we look forward to, I hope to read it first or purchase the book so I can read it. Because I would love to be able to provide a program so our community can really know what happened here in the desert to make us help us flourish. So I do have a thank you gift for
She's excited.
Mrs. Kelly.
That's cute. And Mrs. Kelly, I just want to tell you that I had the pleasure of working with your husband. We would be at those battles in Sacramento fighting over water together, and he would take the room and just jaws open with beautiful speech and so touching. We miss him. So, yeah, he's amazing. Okay, yeah, they're on video, some of those great speeches, but I mean, that newspaper man and him and that speech, he fought incredible. I mean, there'd be hundreds of people in the room and he would just, make a huge difference for the valley. So, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Like that's. Oh. She seems good right now. Not like retirement. She looks good. Seems happy. Yeah. Definitely. Yes. Yeah. Wait a sec. I know voice. Yeah. She's great.
Mary Beth, before you leave, I just wanted to quickly comment. We chatted briefly before. I was privileged to know Kevin through our affiliation with the El Centro Rotary Club. He was exceedingly bright and talented, whether it was doing what he did for a living or as a musician. So he overcame his ties to USC by his sheer will and his smarts and talent. So I appreciated knowing Kevin.
Oh, that's so nice. Well, when I saw you out here and you said your name, I remembered. Yeah, you and being friends with Kevin in Rotary. So, yeah, I'm so glad we made that connection. It's been some years.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. You just made my night.
Thank you.
Next week, and long.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
again.
We'll submit the photos to the press as well.
Wonderful.
Yes. All right. My heart overflowing. And we're going to continue with this. So item B2, recognition and scholarship presentation to lunch at the library interns. Yay.
Hello, Library Board. Today is a very special day for the library. As you can see, we have some beautiful and very talented young people in the audience. Just have my interns give a little wave.
Hello.
And we also have a lead seasonal worker that has joined us. I'll introduce everybody in a minute, but it has been a wonderful summer. First of all, I would like to recognize Vanessa Diaz, who's here from Imperial School District. Vanessa, if you don't mind just coming up for a second. She has made lunch at the library happen year after year for us. She provides the most delicious lunches, nutritious lunches for our families and kids. And every day, without fail, she makes it happen. So we are so thankful to Vanessa and the Imperial School District. And this bag says, this is my library joy bag. Well, I'll tell you what, Vanessa brings the joy to the library with her delicious food.
Thank you, Vanessa.
And because Vanessa brings the food, we also need wonderful students to serve the food and bring enrichment activities to our kids in the community. So through our Lunch at the Library grant, we were able to hire 2 seasonal workers and 4 library interns. Just the greatest kids. As you will know, as you've seen through the year, our interns have been exceptional students, exceptional workers, and I would like to honor each one with their scholarship. First of all, I'd like to honor Ariana Williams. Next, I'd like to honor a returning intern who's been really quite a backbone to Lunch at the Library this year. She knew exactly what to do and how to teach it to others and mentor. Araceli Vega Espinosa. And a newcomer to our library. His attitude has been so fervent. He has so much energy and wants to do the right thing and always does the right thing. I'd like to give this scholarship to Rafael Estrada.
And he's always early.
We have a fourth, Aide Guerrero. She is not present tonight, but she will get her scholarship. And I didn't get to spend much time talking about our dear Ariana, but she is one of our freshmen this year in college. So she and Araceli were school friends, and they were a powerful team together this summer, leading our younger ones. So I just want to say thank you to our interns and their families who made it possible for them to come every single day they were scheduled. So thank you again.
Thank you, Liz.
And then we'll take a moment and take photos of Liz with our Lunch in the Library team, including Imperial School
Please,
District.
please.
And then we'll
Yes.
bring the library board as well.
I would like to introduce Jose. Come on up, Mr. Jose. He has been our lead this summer. This is the first year where we were able to hire leads. Jose attends Berkeley and is studying civil engineering, so he was able to influence all of our younger interns with his experiences in education and work. So I'd love to give him a big round of applause. Valerie couldn't make it tonight, but she's our other lead that we were able to hire under this grant, and she was just the one that kept everything running. So I'd love to give a big clap for our other lead, Valerie. Okay, so we'll go ahead and take some pictures. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can have them come here. I was gonna say in the back or is there in the front? Are we tall enough to be on the? We can stand up. Stand up here and then have them come up here in the front. Would it be okay if they came here? That way we can just stagger?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So we'll have the library team go ahead and stand in front of the board. Right in front, and they'll stand in front of each.
Yeah, just right here in front. We're not that tall, so. You see us?
Oh, I can.
Some good parents.
Very good parents.
Without the parents, we couldn't have done this.
Some have to get up and drive.
Yeah.
Thank you. You guys made a difference.
I do
Want to add, thank you so much. Lunch in the library is near and dear. Obviously, we know the food insecurities, and so 1 in 3, I believe, students have food insecurities, and so in the summer, I'm sure that number increases. So you guys all made a really, really big difference of being able to do what you did here. And thank you for bringing the meals. It's just, you guys made an impact this summer, even if it was just giving someone a meal. So thank you, and I can't say more than that. Like, it's just the biggest thank you in the world. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't cry. Okay, so we are going to move on to item C, work session. Item C1 is a 2025-2026 fiscal year budget.
Madam President, members of the board, the City of Imperial adopted the annual budget for the fiscal year beginning July 1 of 2025 and ending June 30th, 2026. And the adopted budget is attached for reference for the Imperial Public Library. This is the general fund. There are some salaries that are included in the general fund that are grant funded. Those would be the 2 part-time staff that we just heard about, in addition to our literacy coordinator, which you are aware of. So I'm presenting, we've discussed the budget and in prior months. And so I just went ahead and provided you a breakdown of all the services that we purchased through this grant, excuse me, that we provide through funding of the municipality through the City of Imperial. The one item I would like for us to focus on, I'll run through it for you, but we'll be focusing on, as we're planning and discussing events and activities for the year, we're going to take a real look at the budget availability and just kind of just take a look at. So we are very fortunate that the allocation of the administrative assistant was adopted and granted for this this fiscal year. We received 467 applications, which means I'm sorry, I'm sick and I have a bad memory, but it makes it worse.
Well, Ember,
but
I can
HR
tell you that's a lot of choices.
Well,
So that's incredible.
So it shows that Human Resources is doing an amazing outreach campaign to get, they did say that 467 is the most they've ever received. And they're continuing to receive a lot of applications for other positions. So this year, I was blessed with HR to actually go through all the candidates and break it down to the most qualified, which came down to 17 applicants. We had a team of 4 that interviewed those applicants. We had the library manager from City of Raleigh, the library manager from the City of Calexico, and 2 of our staff at the library, which was our literacy coordinator and our librarian. So we had a very balanced, very great board to provide the interviews. After the eligibility list was created, we identified the top 3 candidates and invited them back to meet with me at the library. Our goal was we took them on a tour of the library, and our goal was we're looking for someone that fits our needs, but we also want to fit their needs as a job. Because this is a big investment because people are leaving a previous job to come to us. So we're very excited. We're moving forward. The selection has been made. So once everything is processed and everything goes through, if it's accepted, we will be announcing the candidate. We did the interview on a Monday, and I just had my grandson spend the night on Friday night, and I took him shopping to Target on Saturday for 1 toy. And of course, we bought him 3 plus a couple of sticker books. And so I begged Adria, I was like, can't we just hire all three? And she's like, no. They they were amazing. They were amazing. They all would have been a perfect asset to the city of Imperial. So, including those that interviewed. So it was a lot of skilled people that applied for the position. We're very fortunate, and I look forward to it. So I didn't mean to talk that long. So I broke down for you, kind of like we did last year, but I provided you the actual budget line item for you to look at. I thought this might be a little easier for you to look at. So the monies that you're looking at, these are to keep the building operating. We do have our public services that provides our grounds and maintenance, but there are things that we provide that, when you see that amount of money that we have in the budget, they go to making our doors open and welcoming for our community. So as we go through this, we did separate the publications and dues from our licenses. So we are more it's more clear to the community that they can see that we are spending $11,000 on licensing to provide online resources for them. And then $5,000, $5,500 for our cooperative dues with the SARA, which is San Diego and Imperial County Cooperative, in addition to our memberships with the California Library Association, American Library Association, American Rural and Small Libraries Association, Reforma. These are all very specific memberships and dues that we select that best supports the needs of the staff to better serve the community and get more impact for our community. So as we go down, we have the general information about the budget, and we're hoping our utilities will stay at $24,000. And we're paying attention to the thermostat and looking at alternatives to replacing some outdated thermostats. But we are going to take a look at down at the very bottom where we have the special departmental supplies. That budget is $24,500. So that is I don't want to say it's a catch-all, but it's the cherry on top. It's the resources that we purchase to we do purchase books that are already processed, which saves a significant amount of time. However, the zip books that we receive are basically $14,000 of books. We do have to process those. So we do have to purchase supplies for the processing of those books, patron library cards, which will be increasing with the new act that we'll be implementing to ensure every child has a library card by third grade. Promotional materials, bookmarks, everything that makes the library fun and a welcoming place to be. And so these are all of our things that we provide for the community. We identify each community group, each population that we want to serve, and we try our best to connect with community collaborations. Today, we had SDSU visit, the SDSU nurses. I kept calling them students, and they are actually nurses. They're going after getting their Bachelor's of Science to become RNs. So they came out today, and they educated our youth in different tables about making sure you stay hydrated. And I have a recipe at the end of the report. The instructor made the electrolyte drinks, and the kids really enjoyed it. And they actually said, and the parents too, and they said it tasted better than what you can buy at the store, and it's a lot cheaper. So I took a lot of photos, so those will be posted soon. Through this grant, the funding that we received for the Community to Action, we'll be continuing to provide programming such as this. So these children were able to make a fan, which is a Frisbee, the ones that you fold up, And they spray painted it and painted it a pretty color so they can use it as a fan. They throw it, so they have a fan that they took home. They got bucket hats. They chose their favorite applique to transfer onto their bucket hat. They they had sunglasses that you should add UV protection to it, and we had beads that they glued onto their eyeglasses that change color when they go out in the sun. That way they know that they're getting UV rays, and that means it's time to put suntan lotion on them. So it's a good reminder for them. So there was a lot of activities that happened, and I don't want to go off on that. I apologize. As we move forward, as we go into planning, we're just going to be cognizant of the fund, how much funding we have, the community partnerships we can develop, or the ones we already have, so we can best serve our community. I think the trustees and the library team are doing an amazing job. But I just wanted to just kind of break it down for you so you know what we're really looking at as we plan for the year. And I'll stand for any questions.
This is just municipal budget, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes. I do have a breakdown, which I was not able to include, and I will include that next month, of the grants that we have. The grants have been cut back. The grants that we don't feel that are going to be cut are the zip book grants, which we are waiting for notification on. Our literacy services, which are waiting for notification on. We do have our monies already deposited for the English as a second language, but the California Library Services runs their timeline is a little different, and you'll see that as we get into the calendar. And then did I mention the lunch at the library? A lunch at the library is a California funded program. And we are having monthly meetings with the California State Librarian, looking for different ways of thinking, of looking at money. We did receive an email from the Carnegie Foundation, which they are connecting the 1,600, it was a little over 1,600 libraries that began by the donation of Andrew Carnegie, and they're looking for funding opportunities. So I provided all the information that they needed, which was very basic, but I did include that we do have the original photo post on display with respect, and that we do feature a library card with the original library on it as well.
Yeah.
And that we were the very first in Imperial County.
Yeah.
Yay.
And that is so exciting, and I'm very, very hopeful. But like I've mentioned with you and shared with you, it's like we're being realistic, and we know like grant opportunities are gonna slip away, and things are changing so rapidly, and I do a little bit fear what we do that it makes our library what it is extra, right? Because the library has books and inside a building, and cool. But we are more than that, and our patrons come in because we are more than that. I've been in this library so much this summer. Yeah, I'm impressed with myself. Like I read a book and everything. I read a book. I started going back to school. Like it changes you when you come in here and you're using the resources. But it makes me a little bit nervous that if we do a lot of fun stuff like lunch at the library through a grant, and we don't have that, and then we have to like pivot to municipal funds or something, like we need to be so strategic. And is this going to cover everything? I don't think so. Inflation is it's up there. So I mean, we really don't got a choice, I think, right? Like the funding is what it is. That is our budget. But to be realistic on what we're putting on, what it really aligns with the library, what we're doing, and not veering off too far, or being very open-minded on how we can collaborate and get some of these monies in. I don't know. I've been brainstorming. I've been thinking a lot, but that's just how I feel about it, and with some of these, events and stuff. So
And I am looking at grants that are being offered now that maybe we don't qualify or we're not that, we're small but mighty, as we always say. And we feel like we're not qualified, but when people come in, they're actually saying we're more innovative and we're being asked to speak at different small conferences. So I kind of underestimate ourselves because we want to do everything. But we are keeping an eye on different avenues for grants that are offered through endowments. So just keeping an eye out, and if we don't qualify for it this year, maybe, that can go into our goals and say, you know what, this would be amazing if we did this, and we're gonna place it here so we can apply for the grant next year.
Yeah, and just keeping an eye on them, right? You're like, okay, well, this one is around this time frame. Let's keep an eye on it. And it makes me excited that we are going to have an administrative assistant because that was the problem that I want to say a problem, but a situation that we were like, well, we can't do it all because we don't have like we're all doing something else. So maybe that'll be a little bit of okay, we address that. Maybe we can
Definitely.
and so all right. So do we need a motion to approve?
No.
No, just discussion?
Yeah, you're correct. Yeah,
We do.
yeah, you're good. You don't need it. Yeah.
Okay.
If you have comments, we can definitely take them, or you can do a motion, but, or feedback, but otherwise we are done with that.
I think that's, yeah, I think we're yeah, right? Everyone? Yes? Okay. All right, perfect. So
Dennis
number,
is saying you can't change it.
no, Dennis is like, I'm watching you. That's why we have to get creative, Dennis. I have so many ideas. Don't worry. But I'm just being aware and realistic that we do a lot of things like, like lunch at the library, that it's a blessing that we've had it this whole time through money that it wasn't through our budget. And it can slip away like this.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. We are very fortunate because we do have the cannabis, the CUP with the cannabis, which we split with Parks and Recreation and the Police Department to provide community good programs. However, the funding has decreased over the years. We had 46,000 last year, and I think we spent about $4,000. And then this year, we received 35,000. So by not spending it was a saving for the city because the money wasn't there. And I have been saving that money so we can continue creating a welcoming space within the library. That's what we've been able to do. But it also has been used, it was used last year to continue our teen internship program because a grant wasn't submitted for that last year or the year prior. And that is an amazing program and very worthy and exactly what that money is for. So it's just, us looking at our funds and doing what we can do best for our community, just like the ones we saw here today.
Yeah. That makes me.
One of the things that we do on a quarterly basis is a budget review. So finance takes a look at revenues and sees where the actual number is relative to what we projected it to be at the beginning of the year, and similarly with expenditures. At least at that point in time, if we're anticipating, could we try to be conservative in terms of estimates? And so if it turns out that there is money available, then that may present opportunities to pursue some things that you would like to do.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I mean, and our library is different, right? Because ourselves, we don't have bills to pay. No one comes pays us. Everyone, we give. We're the givers. But I appreciate that, Dennis. I really do. So, we'll go from there.
We'll have a great year.
Yeah, it'll be good. We'll make the most of it regardless.
Yes. We can make a lot happen. Very resourceful.
Okay. Item C2 is a 2025-2026 fiscal year calendar. I'm sorry.
So I have been working on this calendar in between different things happening at the library. I'm excited to report how many people we have been serving. But What I'm presenting to you after we looked at our general budget is that we are still looking to continue serving and connecting with our patrons and providing them what they need. And we're very, very blessed that we were able to add the Mometrics test preparation program online. That's an amazing program. We added the Canopy streaming service online. I actually, I'm going to go back to my three grandsons. My daughter she has a 3-month-old, a 2-year-old, and a 4-year-old. And she doesn't let him watch TV. And I said, get on Canopy, because they have Kids Canopy and their education.
Yes.
So she got on with her library card, and she was very excited. With the talk of Jane Austen Day that we're talking about, I was able to get Emma, and so I was playing Emma in the office while I was working, and people came in and I said, I'm not really watching the movie, I'm just I'm exploring our resources. I'm exploring our resources, but it was amazing to have it. So I invite everybody to explore our resources, because the state provides us amazing resources. And then our city provides us funding to acquire additional resources for our community. And it's amazing. And there's the Libby app. That one's a little frustrating, because you want to read a book and you have to wait, your turn for it. There is another company, but it's very, very expensive, where it's available at that moment. So that would take a very big fundraiser. So on the second page, I broke it down, and this isn't complete. So if we talked about anything and it's not in here, it's not intentional. It's a working calendar, a working document. So what I was trying to do is give us a real look at our responsibilities that we need to take care of and focus on, along with our activities that we have at the library. So on the California State Library for each month, and if there's additional grants, it'll include additional reports. But we have reports that are due pretty much every month. The two biggest ones are the summer community impact report that's due in September. I have one that's due in 2 weeks for our book to action report for the grant that we received. And then our largest, it's funny because it's called a survey, but it's quite lengthy. It's the State Library Public Library Survey. So it's not a survey. But that takes quite a bit of time, gathering all the data to put that information in. And they do provide ongoing trainings and access to staff to assist us to ensure that everything's reported correctly. And then I was thinking of something, but so these are all the reports I had listed. I don't have everything here, but here are the events. I included State of the City because I feel that's very important for you to be aware of State of the City, which will be held during the Dia de los Muertos event in downtown Imperial. And then I did include Sir Optimus Steam Wars. That was an amazing outreach. I will not be able to be there. I'll be in Disneyland that weekend. But because it's my grandson's 3rd birthday, and we go to Disneyland on their 3rd birthday. But we will ensure that we have somebody there, because it was truly amazing of how many young ladies that we were able to connect with and have them discover what is really at the library. So we have a lot of people coming into the library, but a lot of people don't know what the library truly has to offer. So going on to holidays and traditions, we can add a lot more. As I said, this is a working, just a working Excel document. The conferences that take place during the months to look at the how busy our schedule is. Anniversaries, birthdays, and celebrations. So the City of Imperial celebrates their birthday in July 11th. And then we have library card sign up month. The California's 175th birthday is in September, and the state library is doing a big event for that. And then also Ancestor Appreciation Day, which is, we haven't done anything for that, but I think that since we have our ancestry.com resource, I think that would be something nice to do. October, we have Banned Book Months. October 15th, I'm going to get the dates wrong, but it's basically the middle of October through the middle of November is Hispanic Heritage Month. And then in October, we also have the United Nations Day of the Girl that we're working with Seroptimists on. And then in December, we have Jane Austen's 250th birthday. So the staff were very excited. We had Trustees Sotomayor call and say they're doing an event in October. And I was like, October is a scary month.
It is.
Not just because of the Halloween. But her birthday is actually in December. So the Pride and Prejudice book was released in October. So we will be showing Pride and Prejudice, which will be a very easy program to provide in October. And then we will celebrate her birthday in December. We were also talking about in different meetings. Okay, for December, looking at December 11th as a celebration, which is on a Thursday prior to the light parade on Friday and the Christmas in a small town on the 12th. But I will leave that to Trustee Sotomayor to discuss at the end of this meeting. And in January, the Imperial Public Library will be turning 115 years old. So that's a significant year we can celebrate. We have Women's History Month. So, and then we have our city observed holidays. So this is just something I'm continually working on. We can add to it, and we can continue looking at that if we want to identify celebrations that American Library Association, such as Library Card Sign Up Month, Banned Books Week, National Library Workers Week, different things like that we can focus on in addition to planning. But I wanted to provide this for you to be able to have as a resource.
Yeah, no, and this helps because when I came last Friday to an event, someone asked me, do you guys do this every month? And I said, ooh, not like every month, but look at our social media. And then she hit me with, I don't have social media.
Exactly.
Right? And so I was like, okay, well, we usually have calendars at the front desk. And so having this already, this ahead will help us build out that calendar of like, okay, let's not forget these things. Let's make sure we plan around this. So this is going to be very, very instrumental for us. So thank you, Ember, for bringing it to life.
We'll keep working on it. And a team is working together on this as well. They were the Tolkien Reading Day was so much fun. And we didn't have 100 people. We had about maybe 30 people, but it was the joy, and that's what it's all about. And when we get into the summer reading program, that's my goal, is when somebody comes into the library, they're going to feel their heart, a happy heart when they come in. They're not going to think of somebody saying, shh.
Yeah.
They're not going to be thinking about them running through the library. But,
No.
but they're going to remember being welcomed and coming to a clean, nice, welcoming environment with positive people sharing joy.
And I got to witness our little library summer reading challenge winner. And so that was the most precious thing ever, with the Bluey almost as big as he was. And it's just like those little things that they remember. And then he might be a little young, but he might remember something of like, I got something because my parents read to me. Because he didn't, you know what I mean? Like it just sparks that joy.
Yes.
So.
And the bonding that the parents have with their.
They look so proud. So we're doing a good job. More than a building with books.
We're or a place to connect.
Yes. Oh my gosh. All right. Does anyone have any comments? Do you want to? Okay.
On the second page, this is once again, I want to provide you as much information about the library as possible. So the next page, I identified some regular monthly programming that we do provide. There are some days that we're still, there's 2 days out of the 5 day, well, we close out at 5 o'clock on Fridays, but so 2 out of the 5 days we're open. We do not have access to the community room after hours when people come. But we do utilize our community room the 3 other days. As each time we meet on Tuesday afternoons, we have a connection with the adults where they bring their own crafts in and they connect as they're working on the crafts together. And then they share how they're doing their craft, and they get involved, and they learn new craft, I don't want to call it a craft.
Like skill.
New skills.
Yeah.
So, so that, and it's a great time with our librarian. She's absolutely amazing. And then she does provide a program for adults that will that provides an actual craft or activity. And then we're starting our Sprout program, our Sprout gardening program, September 4th. And it will be September through December. And then I believe they'll be coming back February. So we'll be sitting down next week with Jessica, who is in charge of that program. I have to cough, I'm sorry. Sorry. Thank you so much for the coffee. We're blessed with great trustees. So that program is continuing. We I believe our MOU with them is at least 5 years. So we have a great MOU. We have great master gardeners that everybody else is grabbing now. And then I do have to say that when our California Library Literacy Services advisors came down and we took them on a tour to look at the library, I took them out to the garden, and it was summertime. And they were so impressed with that garden and taking photos. And I said, no, I'll send you photos when we have a nice harvest. But they were so impressed with it. And they did say that we were the only library that they've ever been to that had an aquaponics fish tank. So, or even a fish tank. So that's just amazing that our staff has brought this into our library. And then we have our hydroponics as well for the lettuce. So we're doing well. So I will continue working on this, providing you the information about what we have available at the library. And I spoke with staff, and I'm communicating with them, inviting them for one person to come per month to provide a presentation and share about the resources that they provide. And I think that would be much more fun to hear them speak and learn more with them.
Definitely.
Hey, wait a minute.
We have a great team. No, you're good.
And I'm stand for questions.
I think we're good.
Yeah, and we do not need a vote on that one. The next
Okay,
one we
the
will.
next one. Okay.
And Ember, do you want me to present this change in bylaws so you can take a drink? Okay, so our next item is an amendment to the bylaws, Article 5, Section 1. Based on changes, reorganizations back in 2021, this was adopted, recommended by this group, sent to the City Council and approved. As you can see in Section 5, or Article 5, Section 1, the way that our org chart was before, it identified that the secretary would be the director of community services. After reviewing that, it's Ember's preference to put the new library administrative assistant as the secretary, which I think is appropriate because we've split off from that division. So if you could, go ahead, Dennis.
I'll wait until
Yeah,
you're
I'm
done.
done. Yeah, I'm good.
So I have a little different view. I think that the secretary should remain either the board or the library manager. If this is about who's going to be present at the meeting, taking minutes, and it's going to be the administrative assistant, then certainly the manager can delegate that function of taking minutes to that person. But I would prefer someone at that level to have that responsibility. And then the actual work could certainly be delegated, but I think the overall responsibility for the position, if you look at the original, it was a board member. So it was, can't get any higher than that. And so I think the original thought that is that it would be someone at a higher level.
Amber, would you go, instead of the recommendation of assistant, make it the Amber's position? And, or do you want someone on the board? You guys can talk about that.
I do know, I do know that the Brawley Public Library, it is a member of the board that serves as a secretary, but I didn't check with the other libraries.
I think that would be fine if anything, we can rotate to take minutes as long as someone from the board is taking minutes, or does it have to be the same person throughout their term?
It would be a term.
It would be a term? Okay, well, I don't even know if I'm reappointed yet.
Well, yeah, and like
my-
I said, I would prefer either Ember or one of you. And like I said, that doesn't mean you've got to sit up there and take minutes, because indeed, Ember and I had like a 20-second conversation before this meeting about this. And so my inquiry was, do you envision this new position being present at this meeting to take minutes? And the answer to that was yes, and that's perfectly fine. And so it isn't about who is actually doing the function. I think it's just about what the position is.
My thoughts on this are various board members, including myself, sometimes we are not here, we're a volunteer, but I would imagine that it would probably be best for Ember to be secretary, because if we decide to have the administrative assistant, we would also have to be covering overtime for her to be here. So if that's not in the budget, then my recommendation is that Ember be the secretary to the board.
Only, unless if the day that we have a board meeting once a month, if the hours are shifted for her to come in and like at 11 or 12 to cover our meeting. It's 7 o'clock. We're almost done with our meeting. It's only an hour. The library closes at 7. I don't know.
I agree with me. I think we can just shift their hours where she can come to work late that day and then stay and through the meeting. And that way it's a consistent person all the time.
Yeah, I think a consistent person, but I think Dennis's point is, if you say, Ember, leave her position in there because she is the boss and gets to make those decisions, and then have it say Ember or her designee, right? So she would be putting the consistent person or herself, but I think that's, Dennis, is that to put the higher position, not the assistant?
That's the idea. Like I said,
Yeah.
who is physically here taking minutes isn't really the focus of what I'm talking about.
Okay.
It's who's responsible. And
Okay.
then that responsible person can delegate the actual function to whomever they think is appropriate.
Okay. So then we can say that Director of Community Services will designate,
Library
or, yeah,
manager. Library administrator.
sorry, Library Administrator, designation or designee
Or designee, yeah.
yeah.
So at the very bottom of that, it'd be the secretary shall be the library administrator or designee. Is that what you're,
Yeah, I think that's what I was trying to say.
or do you want it to be something else, Dennis? Go ahead. Yeah.
The only thing that comes to mind is, doesn't the class and comp have a change to that position?
It should have a change, depending on you
But isn't the recommendation library something else
manager.
than what it currently is?
Yeah,
So we can hold off on it.
this position, but the change in the name of the position may be coming. So we will
Okay.
update it to reflect what Ember's position is, but knowing that it may change shortly or is in the works of changing title-wise, we'll make sure it matches the updated class and
So what we can do is we can make a motion on the, identifying the, what title that would be once the class and comp is finalized. And once the class and comp is finalized, then we would take this to council for,
Approval, yeah.
read it.
I do have a question. If I recall correctly, and my memory serves me right, when we first started, the city clerk would take minutes. Is that not a thing for our meetings?
Good.
She did.
Yeah, she did.
Dennis, what do you?
How much time do we have?
I mean,
I,
that's the question.
Um, The short answer is, to your question is yes. The longer answer is that the city clerk, as we sit here today, I don't believe it is going to be an option going forward.
just time wise, she's close to,
Oh.
no, she's got planning and, city council, so.
Got it. All right. So then, I'll make a motion to approve item C3 with the caveat of changing the title when the title changes and it to be designated to, whoever Ember chooses. Do I have a second? Thank you. We're gonna move on to item C4, trustee attendance at the California Library Association Conference.
Okay. Previously, last year, for the first time, we were granted the opportunity to provide 2 trustees to attend the California Library Association Conference. And I feel that it was very beneficial for our attendees to actually be at the conference, be in the library world, connect with the state librarian, the state library staff. And the state library staff was amazed that we actually had our trustees there. We had a lot of great fun looking, having ideas, taking pictures with the therapy dog. Got posted on the California Library Association site. So it's a very beneficial. It is a very beneficial. I'm trying to talk our city manager into attending as well, but I know he's very busy. So the conference is scheduled Thursday, October 23rd through Saturday, October 25th. October 23rd is the day that they have power sessions that Valentina can share information about if she'd like. Those are mostly provided by the California Library staff, and those are amazing to attend. And then on Friday, you have that's where the state librarian is providing a session along with other opportunities to hear the changes. There's so many changes happening, so this is even greater than ever to be to attend. I actually thought about going to ALA in June because of everything that's going on, and that was their focus, but I did not. But I think it would be very beneficial. We can make it work with our budget to have 2 people attend. We will discuss, once we look at everyone's schedule and who would like to go, and with the city manager's authorization, because I do have to write it up. We have our meeting tomorrow together to discuss everything. So the early bird rates right now for trustees are $165 for the full conference, and then for 1-day attendance, it's $80. And then after September 11th, the price increases basically by $100 to $260, and then the 1 day goes up by $15. It's nearby. It's in Riverside. I'll be having some discussion. I'm really what all our team would benefit going. So this is the closest it's ever been. Typically, it alternates sites between Sacramento and Pasadena. So this is the closest it's ever been to us. I do have a few rooms booked at a hotel for a reasonable rate before they sell out. So we just need to decide if who is going, so we can, and then so I can write it up for approval.
Yeah. Is this trustees attendance, or do we have to, basically what I'm saying, I was like, if we go, does that limit staff from going, or is it, okay,
No, it's in the budget.
okay.
It's very, it's very worthy of going. So there's a lot of different opportunities, and it's just prioritizing which opportunities are the best.
Yeah.
And as you're serving as the board and as you're guiding us, I feel it's very important that you actually attend the conferences so you are connecting with library leadership.
Yeah, I can tell you that was very informative. It was an eye opener. Being there my first time, I'm actually considering if nobody else is going to go again, because I think the second time around will be a lot easier. The first time, it was a little overwhelming because it's so many different classes and schedules, and we actually got separated. We just got to the last ones together, but it's so much that is not enough to go 1 year to learn everything, and especially all the new books, all the extra stuff that we can use in our library. It's very amazing.
I remember during one session, you were like, what?
It's very amazing.
I can say I have a conference in Portland, Oregon, the following day, so I for sure I'm not going.
Okay, thank you.
I do want to consider attending, but again, with not knowing if I'm reappointed, I kind of want to wait until we know.
I'm on the same boat. I would love to go again, but we still
Yeah.
don't know.
Trustee Sotomayor, do you have any?
It's in my calendar. Since I didn't get to go last year, I had said since last year I want to go this year. So
Perfect.
I will write up the purchase order tomorrow.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so we just moved from that one, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go to item C5, regular library board meeting schedule.
So before you, Madam President, members of the board, is our schedule for the fiscal year. And one of our meetings lands on Veterans Day. And so the city of Imperial does recognize Veterans Day as a holiday. So I am presenting this to you for your consideration of either canceling the meeting for the month of November, or identifying or discussing scheduling a special meeting in November. And once again, we'll be meeting in September and October, so we can further this discussion. But I wanted to bring it to your attention now.
Perfect. I think we'll acknowledge it, hold it, and then we'll make a decision. Yeah, because we'll see how much stuff we have too going on.
Perfect.
Okay, and I want to save your voice as much as possible. Okay, so we're gonna move on to reports, item D1, staff reports. Do we want to start with Dennis, so you can,
Yes.
Dennis, do you have anything to report?
Nothing for me.
Sorry.
Okay. I actually have kind of a long report for you, because first of all, I apologize for not getting this memorandum to you to review before presenting it to you. And then I had asked our amazing library technician if she could count how many hours had been read over the 6-week period with our 416 readers, which we increased our registrations by 388% or something like that. So it was absolutely amazing. I'd spoke to Francisco this morning and I said, oh no, we just have 2 photos that we'll be putting up on the screen, so we won't be sending you any presentations. And thinking that my email that I received from her was just a graphic to provide you showing how many hours was read. She put together a beautiful
Oh,
presentation.
presentation. Of
So
course.
I do want to acknowledge her work and provide a little information about our summer reading program that was so special.
Oh, I love that.
So each year we provide us libraries provide summer reading programs, and so Imperial Public Library actually utilizes the I Read program that is funded through the California State Library, and they have a different theme every year. And this year was I can't believe I can't think of it right now.
At your library.
Level up at your library. Thank you so much. Next year is, I'm really excited. It's based on seeds. So I don't remember the specific name, but we're going to be able to do a lot with that. But with the level up at the library, everyone truly enjoyed. We had, I'll just follow what she's providing. So we had a summer reading challenge. And so everybody, they received their sheets and they documented how much they read. So if you were 0 to 5, your parents or read to you, or you practiced your reading skills with your parents, 15 minutes. And every time you were able to read for, counted your 15 minutes up, you would color your circle. As you finished your line for the week, you would bring it into the library excitedly with big smiles to show it off to our library assistants. And the library assistant treated every single person like it was the very first time they spoke to somebody, and they were so enthusiastic and celebrated them. My favorite thing was this one little girl, because they leveled up with their prizes. And so we had this small Play-Doh as the first level. And so she got to choose her color, and she got her pink color, and she exclaimed, "I haven't had pink Play-Doh in so long."
Oh.
And so it was just, those are the stories.
Precious.
Yes. So our staff at the front, as we with older children, with the level up theme with gaming, they would come up and speak with our staff about the different games that they play. We had and I'm going to have the wrong name about it because I don't do gaming. When we had a challenge on for a city event, I kept jumping off the cliff. But the room was packed. We had chairs lined up, and it was packed. There was a challenge, and they were playing against each other. And it was all ages, and everyone thoroughly enjoyed it. And they asked for to do this more. So we are looking at providing those challenges more for the community because everyone had a great time. But at the end, there were prizes that were awarded to our adults, which received a bag with some reading resources for their iReader, their to read, a lamp, and then so that was a summer swag bag. And our adults were very, very I can't think of the word, competitive. They would come in, how many hours what's the highest? So that was pretty neat. For the children, ages 0 to 5 is on the next slide. And so that's what our president witnessed when the 2-year-old came in and got his little book collection about that big, and then the big bluey, and he was holding it so excitedly. So we took pictures and asked permission to post them. And then for ages 6 through 12 and 13 to 18, the 6 to 12 still read 15 minutes per circle. And the teenagers, of course, they read 1 hour per circle. And so they came in and they won the Tamagotchi. So I do have photos of that as well. And it was pretty much a family that came in, and they were so excited. But so throughout the 6 weeks, we provided different prizes as they leveled up, and everyone was just had their eyes on different things. And so what we did, we just kept an eye on cells, purchase things when things were 50% off plus 25% off. And started stocking that up. And it brought us from 85 participants to 416 participants. And you can truly feel the joy when they came in and the excitement. And I feel that that's going to always be within them, because they're going to remember as a child that they participated in the summer reading program as they continue reading, you know. But I do feel our library staff made a great impact on these kids to read all summer and prevent the summer slide that everyone talks about, from when children stop reading during the summer. So they did amazing. And then, so the reading challenge, this is what I thought she was providing, and she provided this beautiful presentation. So we had 197 reading logs returned, 119 active summer reading challenge participants, 416 summer reading challenge registrations and distribution. She broke down to a chart where we have 23.6 early learners, juveniles, we have 55.8%. Our teens, we need to do more outreach with our teens. I'm not sure what I would have to add that up to see where it equals to make 100. And then our adults, which we didn't used to do under previous. We started this. We started breaking up the ages when I first came into the library. So adults read as well, and that was 23.6% for the adults. So that was very successful. So, okay, these are the hours we're looking at. So for the reading challenge stats, for adults, they read 1,439 hours. The teens, 660 hours. Kids, 1,346 hours. And children, 450 hours. So our community read 3,895 hours during the month of June and July, 6 weeks. So when school was out, June 15th through July 25th, because they turned in their reports by July 25th. The summer reading program stats. We had 1,005 total program participants, 36 summer reading programs, 23 unique summer programs. The top adult program was our jigsaw puzzle competition. They're asking for more of those as well. And then our top teen program was the Smash Bros, which tournament that I didn't, because that stuff came out. I was Atari. So we had 6 programs per week. Okay. We're working on the stats with the patrons entering through the door. So I want to review this before saying 5,060, because the patron counter, the person recording the patron counter was dividing by 4 because we have 4 doors, but the door counter only counts 1 when the door opens. And what I like to point out is more than 1 person can enter through that door when the door opens. A family of 5 can enter. So the numbers are much higher than that. So I truly believe this might be a number that is divided by 4. So I'll bring that back to you. Circulated items definitely is 3,103. And then new library card members over the summer is 211. Really thank Genesis for putting this together, and we're still doing lunch at the library. So lunch at the library, we've served 2,700 children lunches. They started receiving lunch on the first day that school was out, and they're receiving lunch to the last day before they go back to school. So they were provided meal opportunities Monday through Friday for lunches, and then of course we provided snacks at the off-site sites. And so of course with the collaboration with the Imperial Unified School District and the team that was able to, Liz was able to put together with the grant funding. We had, were able to have 2 lunch at the library leads. I have to say that the library leads were amazing. The one individual, Valerie, that was not here, she never stopped working. There was one day I walked into the community room after everything was done, and normally people would just be leaving, and she was literally wiping off the bases of the tables when she was folding them apart, folding them. That's something that people don't look at. So, I mean, that's just very amazing. So I hope she returns. So let me see. So we have the lunch at the library is started June 16th, and it's ending this Friday on the 15th. And then the last photo, our staff thanks you and for all of your support. Okay, so we'll get.
Amazing.
Okay.
Thank you,
So
Francis.
as I identified with the 5,000 number that was reported for the summer, in my report, when I was looking at the numbers and found out it was being divided by 4 and determined why that was being done, it should be divided by 2. So during the month of July, we had 3,700 and at least 3,793 people enter the building. So you can walk through the building and you can see that 3,793 people have come through there in July. So we have all the numbers. I think this is how I'm going to start reporting to the board as well as the city manager with the city council to provide the numbers of each month, so we see what we're serving, what we're doing, what if we need to make any changes, and I'll be adding additional information as needed. The digital resources, I'd like to see the numbers that we're getting use on everything that we're putting an investment in, along with what the library is providing. Because I do believe we need to market that a little bit more. The summer reading program, Level Up Your Library, so we talked about that. We had 416 participants, which grew to 388% from last summer's 85. We are still serving as a cooling and hydration station. I had mentioned that we had recently we had the San Diego State University Imperial Valley School of Nursing nurses that have been coming in. It's Community Health Month for the month of August, and they are getting community hours towards their degree.
Clinicals, right? Or
Yes,
something?
yes. So it was a great team, and then after this week, we will be looking at working with them from February through August, because that's the time that they will be needing to do programs. So we've brainstormed about different things that we could do. And she has also spoke with the other instructor that teaches in the fall. So she said to expect an email because they're looking at possibly doing something in this fall as well. So my first thing I think about is our after-school snacks at the library, and then identifying each population, providing coffee with a nurse for our older community, so they can just sit down and chat with a nurse, and and all those things, because they do have their nursing, but they're just
Their
going after
RN.
their RN.
Yeah.
Library is on the spectrum. This is something that all of the libraries in Imperial Valley put together in 2020, and we received funding for that. With the loss of the LSTA funding, we no longer have the staffing that's provided through the county that was managing that grant. So we do have staff, along with one of our literacy volunteers that is continuing the Libraries on the Spectrum program, so we don't lose that opportunity to serve our kids and our families. California Library Literacy Services Training Advisors Visit. I had mentioned that earlier to you. We applied for this for the advisors to come out and visit our site, and they were amazing. They were, I think, Valentina had lunch with us, and they were.
They were very impressed with our library, I guess, compared to the libraries that had visited.
So they provided they provided a review of everything that we're doing with our literacy services. We've met all the guidelines of the values that we follow for this California Library Literacy Services, and then they provided innovative ideas to and goals for this first week. You're going to do this, and then in a month you're going to do this, and had a full year set up for them. Unfortunately, this program was funded through LSTA, so it's no longer provided. So that's it was very beneficial. All the years we provided literacy services, we've never had professionals come in and evaluate our services, and I think that's for all the money that we receive. I think it's very important to basically get audited, you know, and look at what we're doing and provide us information about how we can do better. So they did expose us to or confirm attendance for our literacy coordinator and our literacy, library technician to attend the Reforma conference, which has already been signed off on. So they'll be attending that in September in Long Beach. And so this is resources that is for Spanish resources for the community we serve. So our library technician who orders all the children's books in Spanish, the adult books in Spanish, she's attending to find out the resources. And then, of course, Julia, our literacy coordinator, is attending because that falls within her avenue. And actually, one of the advisors was served on the Reforma board. So they were very excited that they were going to be attending in September. So the teen intern and job skills development, that you witnessed that today. It's just an amazing opportunity to provide these programs for the teens and give them that experience and that growth opportunity and to provide, to serve our youth and families. So they assisted Liz with her Sprout story time because Liz, even though she was so busy with the lunch at the library, she didn't want to stop the Sprout story time. So instead of doing all ages, she put them together in one session because she couldn't do all three. And then the interns actually assisted doing the story times, and so they got experience doing that. I'll talk quicker. Community collaboration. So we keep looking at community collaborations. ICOE, I always mess up with the early
ECEP.
early childhood education program. They do want to go back and have an agreement with us to provide programs, and so that's where we have that opportunity to provide more programs in the library, and they bring resources that they have, their skills that they have to provide programming for early learners. So we're working on that with the city attorney, and then the FarmSmart is FarmSmart, they actually came out and provided a free program for the lunch at the library program, so they got to chuck some corn. I don't know if you were there or not that day.
That one.
They learned about fiber. I can't go through it, but they learned it's in the notes. So let me see here. Yeah, they are food, fiber, and energy. So, and then future collaborations, as I mentioned, SDSU, Imperial Valley School of Nursing, and then of course BHE Renewables donated for the bags that we're distributing for our community members who need extra resources for the heat. BHE Renewables donated 50 bags for us, so we didn't have to spend money on bags to distribute the fans and the
Cooling towels
Cooling
and water
towel.
bottles
Yeah.
and
So
everything.
that's
Yes.
amazing. And so facility and operations, we're continuing we're doing some wayfinding. We've purchased some signage, some frames. So we've had the same paper for the Dewey system since probably 1988. It's taped on the wall in the original library. So we actually purchased a poster from ALA in English and in Spanish, and so we'll be placing those posters in the adult section so they can have assistance with that. And different wayfindings. We purchased some letters so we can so people can easily find where the Spanish section is, where the large print is, and then we purchased the large letters like we have. They're all matching, so they're all consistent. To put in, since we don't have a big Imperial Public Library sign outside, and we want to, there's a word, but I can't think of it. But we've got Imperial Public Library that we'll be placing above the circulation desk. So when we take photos and stuff like that, we're marketing ourselves because we do serve, when we do our reports for the state library, we're counting how many people live within the boundaries of a city of Imperial, but we do serve people from Calexico and Brawley. I mean, a lot of people come to the library. They truly love Imperial Public Library. And then, yeah, we're doing the book to action. I think you guys already know about most of this. So I'll finish up. Let me see. So we are working on the student success cards. So I'll keep providing you updates on that. I'm actually serving on the board for the California State Library for the student success card, so we can be one of the first people out there with that. And we have, a fly on the wall to know what's going on. We're planning and preparing the programming for the fiscal year, so we have the whole fiscal year in front of us instead of doing month by month. And then we are working on a training program. We were able to get the licensing for Ryan Dowd's training that he provides online training, a webinar each month, and then access to online meetings, online resources. And it's for different populations that we deal with every day, that we work with every day. So that's going to be very resourceful for our team. The ongoing training is going to be very beneficial. And so we'll be working together to build a training calendar. And that I've jumped right into that, the staff and development and training strategy. That's before you. And we've talked about the CLA conference. And last, upcoming priorities. There's a lot of priorities, but these are some of the priorities that we're working on. The back to school outreach for the library card drives, promotion of our services and resources available at Imperial Public Library, re-implementing our 1,000 books before kindergarten program, which is an amazing program. I mentioned the Master Gardener program already. I've mentioned the SDSU School of Nursing, expanding our services for aging, people who are aging with access. There are kits that I'm looking at, I'm so sorry, that it's for memory care. So it would be good for me. But I'm looking at adding that to our collection. And then we talked about the staff and development training strategy. We are, before January, before the end of the year, we need to, I have a meeting with, we need to develop our policy, collection development policy, so we can comply with the California Freedom to Read Act. So the librarian and I are working together to get that done, to bring to you hopefully by next month, so we can take it to council and for adoption, and so we can submit that to the state. They're really pushing that right now. And then we'll be working on the 2025 Community Impact Report, and then also the California Public Library Survey. The deadlines are in October, but it starts in September. The trainings start in September, and it's like you need to start in September and start working on it. And I just thank you for all of your dedication and support. Everybody loves seeing you all in the library. The staff was so excited that Mia, our president, brought donuts and popsicles at the back to
End of the
school family literacy day. And then I also included the recipes that our instructor from the nursing program that she made these electrolyte drinks for people to taste, and she also provided the recipes, so you have that as well. And I will stand for any questions.
It seems to me like you have a huge increase of people coming into the library this summer. What is the number compare between last year and this year?
During the time that I'm working on the state library survey, public library survey, I will be able to compare those, but I will have to revisit the data that was provided to me to ensure those were divided by 2 and not 4, because I was provided the number was very different from the previous year. So I need to do some investigation.
A huge increase on the library on the lunch.
Yes.
Program.
That I think that's a great program, and I don't know what you did different this year from last year, but the increment I think is more than double, right?
Yeah. It truly comes down to what I hear from the community is that we are such a welcoming place. Today with the event that we did with our nursing program, it's required to take surveys from the participants. And that was one of the main things that was written on the surveys, that it was such a welcoming, the library is so always welcoming. And that was something that our California Libraries, the site visit team, they also identified how welcoming our library is. So.
Great job.
Thank you, Amber. Yeah, thank you, and to you and to the team. It's a big undertaking. Like I said, I've been in the library a lot this summer, and it's just incredible. It's welcoming. There's so many resources. The whole team is ready and willing to help you find what you need or challenge you to do new things. And right, and so it was I challenge you to read, Mia, and that turned in going back to school. So it's like the little things that they don't realize make such an impact on people, and so they even did it to me. So thank you for the work you guys do. It matters and inspires curiosity and to keep learning. We are a little late. Does anyone?
Oh, you guys should just go like, shh. Say we're going old school, Amber.
So we have item C3. I'll just do a quick run through of the president report, and I'll open it up to you guys. We did partner up with ICOE for this Summers Here reading program. This is something that we had been discussing in the previous meetings of bringing back that early learning programming. So I'm glad we were able to have one take off, and I'm looking forward to actually having an established partnership with them. Through my role, I was reached out to the state representative for Senator Padilla for the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. And so we brought that connection over here. And so that is a possibility if that does take off here in the Imperial Valley. It's a programming for kids 0 to 5 years old. They will get a book every month until they turn 5, and they would partner with different agencies and organizations in the Imperial County to provide programming. So it's another one of those be creative and collaborate to bring programs. So first we need to get the program up and going, and we will be doing or attending a meet and greet with them and see where that's at, and strategize. What else? I think those are like my two biggest things that I wanted to bring to the table. So I'll leave it at that, and if I remember anything else, I'll do it for next time. Magdalena?
Well, just thank Amber and her team because, well, to me, this meeting, as usual, but especially this meeting, is nice to, it's another reassurance that good, nice things are still happening. And that makes a difference to me.
What can I say, everybody? So thank you. I mean, you're doing a great job. And just to see from last summer to this summer, you and the team have done an incredible job with the little stuff that you have to double the people that come to the library, to let the community know what we do at the library. So thank you so much for everything you do.
We have a great team, leadership.
I do have to say that from when we first started our
Yes.
our trustee position to now, it's been an incredible jump. So you have leveled up the library. Yvonne?
What can I say that hasn't already been said? It's amazing to see the progress of the library, and I'm excited to see what the future is going to bring. And I hope that us as a board can continue to support you in any way that we can, and see that, the programs, expand even more so. And I'm looking forward to these future initiatives that we will have, and I'm excited about the conference because I really want to go this year. But more than that, I'm excited for the possibility we finally do a Christmas program this year, connecting the library with the whole journey of literacy for the children. So I'm happy, to be a part of that. I'm happy to see, the wonderful staff and just the faces of the people here that come in. It's very important. It fills you with the warmth that you just can't, express.
Library
And
joy.
like I said, I'm very, very happy and proud to see how this library has continued to surprise me and transform.
Anything else to add? No? All right. I will call this meeting to an end at 7:48, and we will see you in September, hold on. September 9th.
September 9th. 9/9.
Yes. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you very much.